Well, one of the things that happened for me this week on Christmas was my granddaughter Claire got a puzzle. And we spent a lot of time putting that one puzzle together. But what was interesting is we never started the puzzle the same way. We never put the pieces in the same order. And I realized that was the title of my talk today. And the title is, Our Life is a Puzzle. And we all have an infinite number of pieces. You and I and everybody on this planet has an infinite number of pieces. And we put that puzzle together in a unique way where no one else has ever done it the way we did. And so we become fully unique, fully different. You see, we're all individual puzzles. There's no two of us alike, and yet the puzzle that we are is a puzzle inside the grand puzzle of the infinite nature. So who we are right now, which is a puzzle that we put together, is a piece in the infinite puzzle. So we're an integral part of that. And yet we're individual. And here's the beauty of it. The individual puzzle piece that we are within the infinite, it's always changing. And that's the ability that we've been given. We've been given the ability to change our puzzle piece that goes into the infinite. And that's our power of creation. And here's the beauty of it. When we change, the infinite changes, and we never lose our place. We're always a part of that puzzle. You see, what I've come to understand, there are infinite ways that we can put our puzzle together. We can start at birth and put one piece after the other, or we can stop as of last night and clear a lot of the puzzle and restart all over again. We can take pieces out, we can put new pieces in. Here's the beauty of it. We may have a puzzle piece that no longer fits into the puzzle. And so we can change that puzzle piece so it does fit. So think about this. Think about from the standpoint of abundance. You are the puzzle piece of abundance, and your life has not been generating the puzzle piece. It's not been generating what you want. You're in debt up to your yin-yang. You don't have enough money coming in, that type of thing. You don't have to take that same puzzle piece and put it in. What you can do is you shift your belief, your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, align toward what you desire to experience in money. And when you do that, when that belief is shifted, that puzzle piece changes. And when that puzzle piece changes, it goes into your puzzle. And you now have a different experience. The same thing's true with relationships. If your relationships haven't been all that great, you've got the wrong puzzle piece. So reshape the piece. Decide what is a real relationship for you. And realize that for you to change the piece, the puzzle piece, you've got to let pieces of that piece go. Which means you may let people in your life go. You may let situations in your life go in order for you to reshape that piece so it now fits into the new puzzle that you're created when you have a loving, supportive relationship where you are free to be you. Think about this from the health standpoint. You've got a piece that represents health that goes into the puzzle. But your health hasn't been that great. Let's just assume you're overweight, you got some blood pressure, you got some diabetes, you got all these things going on. Well, you don't want to put that same piece back in the puzzle. You can, and then you're going to keep having that disease day in, day out. But what if you decided to change that puzzle piece? What would that involve? It would involve creating a new mental image of who you are. It would involve creating new mental and physical habits that you believe are healthy. And as you start to implement those habits, as you start to create that new mental image, what happens? You change the puzzle piece. And you put it in one day, and your health is a little better. The next day, You do some more work on that piece and you adjust it again. You put it in and you become healthier. And you do that for the rest of your life. And you change the puzzle. You change your puzzle, and you have that ability to change the puzzle. You see, when we came into this planet, there are no instructions or plans as to how we live our life. This is the great myth that God has a plan for us. I'm going to tell you what God's plan is. God's plan is this. You have the freedom to create and experience any type of life that you desire. And when you do that, this thing we call God says, yes, it will be so. And it accepts you. It loves you just the way you are. You're not punished by that because it's giving you freedom to express yourself perfectly. And isn't it great that there's no instructions? Because you can create without worrying about it. It's so great. If you're watching, we've been watching this television show, The Great British Baking Competition on Netflix. And there's one part where there's the technical part. And they give each of the bakers, these amateur bakers, they give them the specific instructions and they're specifically supposed to bake this same thing and it's supposed to be this way. It looks this way, smells this way, it tastes this way, everything about it. That's not the fun part. But when they get to the third part and they get to what they call it the showstopper, that's when they're given very general view and they get to imagine and create. And that's when the program becomes magnificent because you get to see the individuals creating new things. And as the show goes on from week to week, you see their talents to create get bigger and bigger. That's a metaphor for life, isn't it? Every day you understand better who you are. Every day you understand the power that exists within you. And every day you have the ability to use that power to create differently the way you want your life to be. And you are the planner, and you determine how you live your life. You see, here's another interesting thing. The puzzle we put together yesterday, today we can take that puzzle apart and we can put it back together whenever and however we want. We are never ever locked in because the number one gift we were given more than any other gift in the world was the gift of freedom. And that is the freedom to reshape, recreate, and relive our life. We can actually, in our mind, recreate our childhood. So we may not have had the most ideal childhood, but in our mind, we can create it so that we did. I've done that in so many ways. I had a good childhood, but there were some things that were not. I've changed it so that my childhood serves me. I don't have to go back and revisit it and have to clear it and talk to a psychologist about it over and over again. No, I reshaped it. I gave it new meaning. You see, I have the freedom to give what happens to be new meaning. And when I give it new meaning, I live differently. I have a different perspective, a different perception of life. I have the power. You see, here's the thing I want to share with you. And this is so freeing once you understand that. Our puzzle will never be completed. It's a puzzle that is constantly changing and we get to reshape it for eternity. Right now, we're in human form with a human body and a human mind. And we're using the pieces to create our lives, our life experience. But I truly believe that we go on for eternity, discovering and becoming more aware of that which we are. So here's the thing that I've come to understand is that to learn to be patient and wait for clues is the key. You see, we have to learn to be patient and wait for clues as to how we put the pieces together. Because the clues come as we live. Sometimes we don't have a clue until we experience something. Then we have an experience and we go, oh my God, the clue is don't do that, you want this. And so when you look and you're patient about it and you realize that you're getting different clues all the time and you're adjusting that puzzle piece, you've got the power. And you see, we've got to learn to stop judging our puzzle because it's a never-ending piece of work. So if it's never ending, don't judge it. Just look at it, observe it, accept it, and decide where do you want to go from here. But be happy where you are, because where you are is it's the perfect part of the journey in this very moment. And then now start doing the work and reshaping your puzzle piece. I was thinking the other day, I was asked by a consultant that I'm working with as to how to bring the message of agape clearer to people in the world. And one of the things that I was asked is, so when people come to agape, what do they seek? And I realized what people come to agape seeking is the same thing that we seek from others. So here's what I've come up with, that what we seek from others is first to be uplifted. When we go to other people, we want to be uplifted because sometimes we're not in that place. So if we can be uplifted, it means we're being lifted out of where we are and we can see a bigger possibility. We feel good. That's the same thing we do at Agape. When we're talking to you right now, I'm here to uplift you to a higher vision, to a higher way of seeing life. And that once you're uplifted, we seek from others to help us find clarity, to get a new clue, to see what kind of puzzle piece do I want to come in. So when people come to the Agape Center, they're seeking clarity. And what we do is we provide as much new information as we can so that that clarity can be received based on where that individual is. So we uplift, we bring clarity as much as we can wherever that person's ready. And then the final thing that we do is we seek to learn new tools that we can use in putting our puzzle together. And you see, that's the purpose of all relationships. That's the purpose of community. To uplift, to get clarity, and to find new tools to use to create our life. When you start understanding the simplicity of that, you get a hold of a power that is so magnificent and so great. But I want to say something because I've been talking pretty seriously. Our job, our main job, is to have fun as we put the pieces of the puzzle together. Each and every day to have the curiosity of a 2.5-year-old, mesmerized by what is happening in front of them, mesmerized by how they press a button and a new sound comes out of a toy, mesmerized how they press 2 buttons and a different sound comes out of the toy. To be in the moment and be fun and be creating that experience, that, my friends, is what life's about. And when we embrace that idea, we are living life to its fullest. And there's nothing better. The master teacher said, to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must do it through the eyes of a child. Putting a puzzle together with no preconceived ideas, but doing it for the fun of it. So the question I ask you is, what puzzle piece do you want to shift and shape today? And as you shift and shape it, I want to invite you to have fun as you envision what that shape is. And then go about doing the work with joyful, positive, defined expectation that what you do is made so because it is. It is the Father's wish that you should have the kingdom of heaven, and nothing can deny that from you.